that should leave us with this last topic is where does this train end? What's the last stop on this train of removing and taking down monuments?
Well, look, if you're going to take some down, take them all down. Solve the problem. No monuments. You want to learn about it?
Look,
Read in a history book or go to a museum.
Christopher Columbus, I'm good with.
Yeah,
Guy
totally
guy didn't even reach our, what do you, Hispaniola?
Yeah, he never stepped foot in North America, right?
Cuba, I think
Yeah.
is as close as he got.
Never
So
stepped
that's
foot.
more of an Italian American thing. I think people
Really?
they just love Italian Americans love Christopher
Well,
Columbus. He
and
needs to come
also,
down.
Christopher Columbus Day is kind of a day of mourning for Native Americans. So,
Right.
might want to consider that one.
Yeah, I'm good with Christopher Columbus. I'm good with all of the Confederate statues. I'm good with renaming military bases that are named after Confederate officers or soldiers. There's plenty of heroes out there that we can rename these bases after. So
General
we don't.
Schwarzkopf.
Yeah, we don't. Right. We don't need Fort
General
Lee
Powell.
and all those exactly. So we definitely don't need any of those named. I think when it comes to, George Washington, Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, the forefathers of this great nation, I think, look, you would hope that in a different time, if they were living today, they would have different views on slavery, right? And look, let's not pretend that it was only rich white men that owned slaves. There were plenty of middle class and lower class people that had slaves. So let's not make it a rich white guy thing or aristocrat thing. Almost said aristocrat, but aristocrat.
That's a different movie.
Yeah. But look, I think that you have to hope that these men who built this great nation saw a future for it and saw it in the way that we all want it to be. And I think that those men have every right to be praised and elevated to a status that is better than the average person, because they built this damn great nation that we all enjoy, and they all have the benefit to speak loudly about our own opinions.
Yeah, look, there's no right side of the coin right now, given what's going on in the world right now on this argument. So it doesn't matter what side one lands on. Somebody's going to hound you. Somebody's going to destroy you and think, you're XYZ or whatever. But I think you need to celebrate what they were able to accomplish in terms of forming a nation.
Yeah.
While still recognizing what faults they had in their lives, in society, and what was going on in North America and the world at that time. I think you can do both. You can be like, look, here's where we were as a nation, here's where we were as people, here's what was going on, and here were her, whatever faults, and here's their background in history. But at the same time, this person helped form, the United States. So why can't you have a whole picture? Why does it have to just be, well, they were a slave owner, they're perfectly 100% evil? It's like, I get that, and being a slave owner, awful. But if they still help found the nation, there's, an additional part of that story. So it needs to be a complete picture. It can't just be one side or the other where it's like, oh, well, they helped found the nation, everything else is irrelevant, or they're just a slave owner and everything else is irrelevant.
Look, if there's more good than bad, the way I look at it, and without these men, we wouldn't be sitting here today. So I think that we have to realize that, and that that leaves me with the renaming of the different sports teams. Washington Redskins, FedEx coming out and saying we FedEx, recommend, and Nike taking down the Redskins apparel from their website.
All of it.
Yeah. But recommending and then publicizing that recommendation and saying, you need to change the team name, and you need to do it now. And Snyder, who has always fought it, has always said, we'll never change the name, has now come out and said, we are considering options and have put a group together to discuss those options.
Yeah.
you know, along with what, the Cleveland Indians, Francona came out and said it's time to change the name of the Cleveland Indians. You know, they got rid of Chief Wahoo, and they changed their logo. You have multiple other team names, but we talked about the Florida State Seminoles and how they work with the Seminole tribe to make sure that they are respectful in how they depict, and they are accurate in and respectful in how they do it. And I feel like I don't want to completely remove Native American likenesses from these teams, because I feel like there's an opportunity to keep them at the forefront and keep them visible. So can those teams work with local tribes? You know, maybe it's the Washington Warriors and, you know, or something like that, right? The Cleveland, whatever that local tribe is, and work with them. And then look, not all tribes have casinos and have a lot of money, right? Blackfeet Nation, we just spoke about earlier, same thing. They don't have a casino and they don't have a lot of money coming in. Maybe this is the opportunity where they have naming rights. And it's like, if we work with you, we will build, you know, programs on your reservation. We will help start scholarships for people within your tribe. That's the way I would go. Let's not completely go, okay, it's the Washington whatever.
Presidents.
The presidents, I think, is right now the number one.
Pros. How about the Senators? Washington Senators. Why not?
How about the Bullets?
How about
the Washington Bullets?
Let's
bring that back. Let's bring that back.
Never going to happen.
But right, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about the idea, and what would be your option?
Well, Washington needs to change. It should be the presidents or the senators or pros, or I don't care. But I like the idea of, you know, involving a tribe or tribes. Like, for me, the Cleveland Indians, if you're able to work with a tribe or tribes and they're okay with it, I have no issue with the name Indians. So long as the tribe or member tribes or organization, whatever it is okay with it, they're involved with it. And you know what? Give them a stake in the team, or, you know, give them money, do programs like you said. I think that's a great idea. Yes, the Chief Wahoo logo needs to just not disappear, but not be used anymore. It should be like in history.
But like I said, it keeps them in the conversation.
Yeah. I mean, look, you had the same issue with, what was it, North Dakota Fighting Sioux?
Yeah.
And they, you know, nixed
I mean, how awesome would be, it's like if like, you know, in the program there's a history of that tribe, right? So like when you go to that game and you open up the program, you're like, oh, that's why the team's named this, and this is the history of that tribe. Now you're teaching, you're using an opportunity as a learning lesson. And, you know, I hope that they adopt something like that versus call it the coward's way out and just saying, you know, we'll just erase it all together, and we'll just, you know, take the easy route and name it completely something else. That's what I'm hoping that they don't do.
Well, I think
right now we're in cancel culture world where it's easier just to kill it and move forward and do something else.
I think
versus like do something fun.
I think it's easier for the Indians to likely, you know, involve a tribe, because that name is not as offensive as the name that's on the Washington football team. Like, the Washington football team has to change.
Yeah.
Now,
that's again, what I'm saying. Like, what tribe is in Virginia in that area?
I have no idea.
They, like I said, it's figuring out a way to, I don't want to say make up for those years, but try to say, let's do something together. And you know what? Maybe we'll have someone who's an expert on in this space come on, and we can ask them those questions.
We should, because we're definitely not experts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got too.
Yeah.
Follow us, Two Dudes Talking, Twitter, Instagram, no Snapchat, just YouTube and all those other ones.
Not TikTok either, because that's going to get banned.
No, not TikTok. Even though I do want to do some TikToks, but that's for another day. I'm DJ Schroep. That's Dustin Ovitz. Tell us we got it wrong. Tell us we got it right. Tell us why you love us. Tell us why you hate us. Peace.
Oh, so much love.